historic day for India and UK. This will certainly set the roadmap for our agreements with EU and some other trading blocs. For the first time, you're seeing two large markets of this size entering into a trade deal. Finishing trade deals after trade deals helps India in securing its market and advantages in the globe.
Forthcoming deal which India is, how will it impact the forthcoming deal with EU or USA? Does this give a signal to that India is opening its market, and what kind of signal it is giving?
Well, a very good question. I think, first of all, this is a historic day for India and UK. For the first time, you're seeing two large markets of this size entering into a trade deal, which is a win-win for both sides. This will certainly set the roadmap for our agreements with EU and some other trading blocs. I would say US remains a very separate track, which is a very large market. It's set apart from everybody else. I would say they export everything, they import everything. So that is something which I would say will be dealt separately. Although, finishing trade deals after trade deals helps India in securing its market and advantages in the globe, which should give it strength to deal with the US as well.
Second question I want to ask you about your sector specific, the data protection requirement under Annex 3. What I could understand that how will you secure that data protection, the free data flows are not leaked, or if leaked, what kind of actions can it be taken, and how will it impact the Indian telecom companies, especially in e-commerce, telecom, fintech, etc.?
Well, as you know, in today's world, data movement is one of the most important issues in the trade and services. And given India's advantage in digital connectivity now, which is not only at par with the world, but perhaps in certain cases ahead of the world in its availability of data, the pricing, and the consumption patterns that we see. India has a very, very clear position. It wants to exchange data only with trusted partners, trusted countries. And these kind of FTAs help in establishing those, relationships. India has data localization, requirements. There's DPTV, as you know, Act. So all these will secure India's data, provisions in every which way, to my mind. So I don't see that this particular FTA compromises any of India's need to secure its data.
One explanation, if I ask you, you have signed a tie-up with Starlink. Currently, what is happening? Suppose the trouble happening in Manipur or in North Sri Lanka, India bans its internet. Mm-hmm. Now, with Starlink coming in operation in India, or you start your OneWeb, can Indian government do this?
Yeah, they will have to immediately make a request to the people who have been licensed in India, and they will be duty bound to follow the law of the land. Absolutely. I mean, if tomorrow, if we are operating OneWeb in India, I can only talk about what we will be operating. And if there are directions for us to shut the services, we will have no, other recourse but to do that. I mean, you are operating under the license GMPCS given by the DOT, so you have to stay within those norms. No question.
Okay, sir. And thirdly, I will ask you the auto sector, mainly if you can answer that. Duty has been released, of course, under TRQ from 100% to 10% in a phased manner. Will this not impact the Made in India slogan for especially the Indian auto sector? Auto parts.
I would say Indian auto parts manufacturing industry is one of the most sophisticated and advanced in the world. In fact, if you look at in the auto, we are having a huge leg up in the world of exporting auto components. So I don't think so. Indian industry really needs to fear that expensive components made in the UK or other Western markets will flow into India. Quite the contrary, with this again, companies which are manufacturing in the UK cars and trucks and automobiles will be importing more components from India, probably setting up industries and factories in India to ensure that they can get low-cost manufacturing of high-quality availability for their own markets and global markets. Do keep in mind, companies which have gone from the UK to India are exporting from India to 100 other countries. What's the reason? Talent is in short supply in UK. Talent is very expensive. Manufacturing is very expensive in the UK. The local market is rather modest. All those things are reversed in India. Market is very big locally. Cost of manufacturing is low. Talent is available in abundance. So all this really helps the Indian industry and UK industry as well.
One question on the government procurement. It has been open to UK company. How will it impact will Indian MSME small companies will be able to compete with the UK companies which are technologically very high?
I think there's a threshold of a few hundred million rupees. I don't have the exact number, but there's a threshold above which the government procurement, the UK companies can participate. So that means a protection for the smaller companies. And for the larger tenders, UK companies can participate. And I would say this is again good because while opening it to UK, which is a very special gesture, what will it mean? These companies will have to come to India to set up manufacturing units. Otherwise, they will not be competitive. So it's fine.
Lastly, one question on Indian banks and insurance companies. Can they be allowed to expand their market in UK under the deal?
I don't know if there's a specific provision for the banking branches and all that, which has always been an issue which has been under discussions. But insurance, in any case, I don't know if any Indian companies are keen to come to the UK because most of the Indian companies are in turn joint ventures with foreign companies. And but I think UK could allow insurance licenses. As far as bank is concerned, bank branches is the issue. Otherwise, you have established here SBI and ICICI and Bank of Baroda and many others. But it's the retail branches network which is under discussion all the time. I don't think so. It's covered under the FTA that they will specifically be allowed branches. But that will be, to my mind, probably an outside track from FTA. I have to myself go through each line item, but I know the high level position. But CB, can you confirm or deny on this one?